the National Critics' Choice Online News. I'm Robin Stienberg, and welcome to my show again. And today we have a special guest here in Singapore. It's none other than the Maestro William Bennett. He is one of the world's renowned flutists, and he has been a principal flute player, in many orchestras, including the London Symphony, the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, and the English Chamber Orchestra. And he also has been featured in many international acclaim and enthusiastic reviews in record and city journals. And not only that, he has been recorded with many artists such as Jimi Hendrix and Wynton Marsalis, and he has already recorded over 90 CDs as a soloist. Recently, he has premiered the concerto by William Matthias, Diana Burrell, and Raymond Pineda. Is that correct? Pineda, yes. And in January 1995, His Majesty, the Queen of England, presented William Bennett with the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire for his distinguished services to music. In 2002, he was awarded the National Flute Association Lifetime Achievement Award, and in 2003, he was appointed the British Flute Society's Flutist Laureate.
Yes.
And Maestro William, thank you for joining us here in the National Critics' Choice, and it's been a real honor. One of the most burning questions that many of our viewers right now is, how did you cultivate your love for flute? When did it start?
Well, I was stuck away in a boarding school in England during the war. I didn't like being away from home. And one day, one of the boys came back from the local town, and he'd spent all his money on a little plastic whistle, a bit like a recorder. And I thought this was just marvellous. So I got all my pocket money for the whole term and went off to the local town and bought myself one too. By that evening, same evening, I'd learned to play Clementine. I think I was just about 8 years old.
Amazing.
And it went on from there. And then whenever I heard a flute, when the music master would play us a record, gramophone records were 78s then, we'd hear recordings or the radio, hear a real flute that sounded so much better and sexier than a recorder. I wanted one desperately. And after a lot of pressure, putting on my parents, when I finally got one when I just turning 12. I got a proper flute. A professional player was selling his flute. And my parents heard about him, and I remember getting on the train back to the boarding school clutching this long flute case. And I got a real professional flute.
Amazing. And now, what would be the three key life lessons would you like to impart to all the flute enthusiasts and young musicians who are aspiring to be a great musician? Because you have started out very young,
yeah,
and you graduated from a music school. Were there any three key lessons that you have learned?
I don't know. You see, I wasn't pushed into playing the flute. I did it myself. I got my first instrument myself, and I pushed and I got it. And then when I got a flute, I was teaching myself. The piano teacher at school told me I was playing the wrong rhythm or something. But basically I was finding out how the thing worked and learning the fingerings and learning what I could. And it wasn't until I was nearly 16 years old that I had a lesson from a professional player.
Amazing.
And, you can't say what's the best method for somebody else. That's what happened to me. I played the piano and the flute, and I wrote bits of music, and that was because I liked doing it. It was my fascination.
When was your best favorite moment in your entire life that you felt that the flute became your best friend?
Help, I don't know. Maybe when I first got it.
Now, you never given up playing the flute and even as a career, playing it. What was your main motivation behind it?
Well, I was so fascinated with it that there was never a possibility of doing anything else.
So you will never give up your flute, irregardless.
Well, I never have done.
So what's next for you, Maestro? Are you still recording more albums, more solo albums? Any
I'm not
plans?
quite sure what I'm doing. I keep on planning one or two more pieces to record, but it may be a bit late. Don't know.
So will you still be...
I'm not ruling it out.
I understand. So are you still giving more master classes around the world?
I'm giving master classes. I'm on a trip around Asia at the moment, and master classes and little concerts thrown in.
Mm-hmm. So what would be the one lesson that, or one advice would you give for the young enthusiasts and professional musicians who are pursuing a career as a flute musician?
Help. One thing, I don't know. I love the flute for its voice. It's got a special voice of its own, and I regard it as a voice rather than a machine for playing very fast on.
Really?
Although it's very good at playing very fast, its main feature is its wonderful sound and vocal quality, and I feel we should learn from singers.
Huh. So what would be the one piece that you love playing most often when you are not playing for a concert? Is there any one piece, any classical piece? Or...
No, there's no one piece. There's so many pieces that one is fascinated with, the whole lot.
Well, once again, Maestro William Bennett, thank you for joining me here at the National.